Family, let's get ourselves ready for prayer and for class as we going to go over some things needful for our people as we are in this diaspora trying to find our way home. So let's have a word of prayer and face towards the east, because I know the east is the best, right? Yeah. Tongues will have to confess. Barukatah Yehovah Eloheinu melech haolam. There is no one greater than you, O Elohim, and we give all praise and glory unto your name. We thank you so much for your love and your mercy, which endures forever. We thank you for this opportunity of life, something that is not privileged for everyone, but we are grateful that you have given us the breath of life one more day that we can utter praises unto you. Father, we are just a shadow. We're just dust. Today we're here, tomorrow we're gone. But we glorify your name while we have our being, while we have our movement and our strength within our bodies. Our bodies may ache, but we glorify you. We may not see as well, but we glorify you. Our hearing may not be as so good, but we can still glorify you. Our arms cannot reach as it used to be, but we stretch it out towards heaven and glorify you. We cannot walk around as much as we can, but we still make that motion in our hearts to glorify you. We may not be able to speak, Father, but you know the utterance of our hearts, and we glorify you. Thank you, Father, for your love. Thank you for your kindness, and thank you for the hope of the resurrection. I pray that you will resurrect us even in the last day. Be with us, keep us, restore us back to you. May your name be praised forever. May the house of Israel be gathered back to you again. In Yeshua's name we pray. Amen. Hallelujah. All praises to our King. So family, today we're going to rehearse in the hearing of our people, the luminaries. It's nothing new. We've been through these classes before. As I said, Brother Felix have done a job, and we have spoken about this thing many times before. So this is basically a rehearsal for many of our people, the sheep that are coming over the hills and coming out from the valleys and looking for some green grass, a couple blades of grass here and there. And I know that there's still a lot of goat-like Hebrews bucking and kicking and going the other direction, going to the broad road, and they don't want to go down this road because there's no GMO. There's no GMO. There's no GMO. It's very organic. It's based on the luminaries. You don't have to be a mathematician to do all types of calculations. If you want to, that's up to you. If you want to be a nuclear scientist so you can have an atomic clock in your pocket, that's up to you. But, you know, the Most High is so good that he remembers the dumb people like myself. He remembers the simple people like myself, like ourselves. People who, you know, can look through the window, go outside and just look at nature and see that nature has been a certain way for a long time. I don't see ants trying to be like the bees. They have their own social order. I don't see any ants coming up with any bright ideas and saying, let us genetically alter our genes so we can be super ants. We don't see bees saying, well, you know, we want to be like the eagles. Not even the squirrels is interested in changing anything. They like to jump from one tree to tree and chase the nuts as much as they can. But I don't know, family. They know when the seasons are. They know when it's time to have little ones. Even the birds know when to gather all the little twigs and build their nests and to start the family. And the geese, the ducks, the fish, everything knows their order. But for some reason, you have some sets of people who believe that, no, we don't follow the things of the Most High. We need El Papa, his calendar. Oh, we need El Faro. We need the pyramids. Huh? Oh, we need Cambridge University or Harvard. We need all of these people to put together these structures, and then everything is going to be okay. But you know, if that be the case, why do they keep changing these books every single year? Many years ago, as a young man, I worked at Boston University bookstore, and I remember people throwing out these books, expensive books, throwing them out, and have these new books every year, new books. But I thought I thought English was English and math was math. Why do you have to have a new edition? What's wrong with the ones that were before? Hmm? Well, it just goes to show, family, that people just likes to rearrange things and make the potato into all kinds of different things. It's a French fry, it's a mash, it's a smash, it's a smudged, it's a bake, sauteed, sliced, diced, hash, you name it. All types of things with potato, but it's still a potato. It's not going to change. Still a potato, family. You cannot change the sun, you cannot change the moon or the stars. So we are sticking with the things that have been around since creation. Hallelujah. The book of Genesis, chapter 1 and 14 says, "And Elohim said, Let there be lights in the firmament, that they will be as 4th of July for the world." Are you sure? You don't have the new extreme revised edition, Elder? No such thing? Huh?
No sense.
Come on, Elder. You're old-fashioned, Elder.
No, because as God put it, God live it.
You need to be young-fashioned, Elder.
No,
You need to be modern.
no,
No? All right, Elder. It says, "In the firmament of heaven, to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, Elder. And for what? Seasons. And let them, and for days and for years." Hallelujah. It's right there, right in the beginning.
nothing changed.
But you know how Hebrews are. What does Nehemiah, what is it, chapter 9 say? Is it Nehemiah chapter 9? About the sanctuary being open a certain time. Do you remember that? Let me find out Hebrews. It's 13? 13, 19. Okay, let's find that. 13 and 19. Yeah, that's the one. Thank you so much. Let me pull it up so everyone can see it. So we're going to look at the book of Nehemiah 13, Nehemiah, and we're going to read from verses 19, just to give a little bit of the history before we go into some of the things. So our people are preparing themselves for Passover, but the problem is everybody is on a different calendar for some reason. Some believe in Saturday. Some believe the full moon is the new moon, and the list goes on. There's so many different beliefs that I think many Hebrews are just dizzy right now. So let us see what the Bible has to say real quick. And 17? Okay, so we'll start at 17.
Then I contended with the nobles of Judah and said unto them, What evil thing is this that you do and profane the Shabbat day? Did not your fathers thus, and did not our Elohim bring all this evil upon us and upon this city? Yet you bring more wrath upon Israel by profaning the Shabbat. And it came to pass that when the gates of Jerusalem began to be dark before the Shabbat, I commanded that the gates should be shut. and charged that they should not be opened till after the Shabbat.
So Nehemiah, Ezra, those men who returned back from the captivity to reestablish Judah again, they had to deal with Hebrews who were defiling the Shabbat with work. And so they put out this edict saying, we're going to close the gates because people, what they would do, they know when Hebrews are coming together to worship the Most High, that's a great opportunity to capitalize on making some money, because Hebrews are gonna need a little lemonade every once in a while. Some Hebrews may want a little fried chicken. Some Hebrews will want a little a little bread on the side or something, some dessert, some popcorn or whatever. So let's go around with our little carts, and sell some product here, and let's make a quick hustle. And they saw the hearts of the people, and they said, let's close the gate, okay? We'll just close the gate off altogether, so you're not defiling this place that the Most High has his name. Let's continue on.
Okay, and some of my servants set I at the gates, that there should no burden be brought in on the Shabbat day.
Mm-hmm.
So the merchants and sellers of all kinds of ware lodged without Jerusalem once or twice. Then I testified against them and said unto them, why lodge ye here about the wall?
So now, because they couldn't get in, they just parked, set up their little shops right next to the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Read.
If you do so again, I will lay hands on you.
I'll do what?
I will lay hands on you.
I will lay hands on you. That sounds like the words of the Messiah, right?
Mm-hmm.
What did he do when he came into the place?
He took rope and
he laid hands on them.
Yep.
Okay. Make a note of that, family. This is the role of the Messiah. All right. So I'll lay hands on you. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. From that time forth came they no more on the Shabbat.
Mm-hmm.
And I commanded the Levites that they should cleanse themselves, and that they should come and keep the gates to sanctify the Shabbat day. Remember me, O my Elohim, concerning this also, and spare me according to the greatness of thy mercy.
Can you get me the one with the new moon day and the Shabbats? Because, our people fail to understand the Shabbat and the new moon were very important times that we had to sanctify before the Most High. And a lot of our people who didn't come around to serve the Most High, but came around to exploit the Most High so they can profit and use the Most High's people for gain, when that should be a time off. I mean, come on now. Come on now. All right, so let's read from verses 1.
Ezekiel 46:1. Thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, the gate of the inner court that looketh toward the east shall be shut the 6 working days.
Mm-hmm.
But on the Shabbat it shall be opened, and in the day of the new moon it shall be open.
How many days is that?
You have the new moon?
New
7,
moon and
8,
Shabbat, right?
8.
So if it's
8
going to be
days.
closed every Shabbat day, how many Shabbats is that in a month? 4. And then when you add the new moon in there, how many days is that? That's 5 days. So subtract that 5 days from all the other days and see how many 6 days you have for the month.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like someone to check that out for me, please. Check it out, family. If you take away 5 days, the new moon day, and the 4 Shabbats that occur, how many 6 days do you have?
4 6 days. 4 6 days.
You have 4 6 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You don't have 7 6 days, you have 4 6 days. 6 days will you labor and do all your work. On the 7th you rest. But you have to keep in mind that there is a first of the month, okay? that is also a set apart time that the Most High gave to the house of Israel.
But I mean, it really specify that right here in Ezekiel. I don't see the problem with people not understanding that you have 6 days to work, you have a new moon day, and you have a Shabbat day. I mean, he's breaking it down for you by the months.
How's this? No, this is the future that he's also speaking of in the kingdom of the Messiah. Is that correct?
Correct.
The prince shall enter. Read that, please. Just two.
And the prince shall enter by the way of the porch of that gate without, and shall stand by the post of the gate. And the priest shall prepare his burnt offering and his peace offerings, and he shall worship at the threshold of the gate. Then you shall go forth, but the gate shall not be shut until the evening. Likewise, the people of the land shall worship at the door of this gate before Yah in the Shabbats and in the new moons.
So it's very, very clear. You have new moons throughout the year, and you have Shabbats throughout the month. Okay, those months and so forth. So it is very, very plain. We have to observe those particular times that the Most High have ordained from the beginning. So let's go into our rehearsal here. Everyone can see it. So let's look at this historical tidbit. According to Herman Hoey, he said the crucifixion was not on Friday, page 34. It says every month on Elohim's calendar begins about the time of the new moon, when the moon's first faint crescent is visible at sunset in Jerusalem. It says every month of Elohim's calendar begins about the time of the new moon. Y'all see that?
Yes.
When the moon's first faint crescent is visible at sunset in Jerusalem. According to the Roman calendar, a new moon may occur at any time during the month. According to the Roman calendar, so if we apply the usage of the heathen calendar, a new moon could occur any time during their month. Is that correct?
That's right.
But according to this historian, every month of Elohim's calendar begins about the time of the new moon. Most people today probably don't even know when a new moon appears. How sad is that? So if you get the first one off, you're going to get everything else off. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right, let's move ahead. Just to refresh some of the things that we already have posted. According to the Jewish calendar, changing the calendar, www.torah.org, quote, declaring the new month by observation of the new moon and the new year by arrival of spring can only be done by the Sanhedrin in the time of Hillel II, which is the 4th century AD. The Romans prohibited this practice. Hillel II was therefore forced to institute his, not the Most High, fixed calendar. Why did it say fixed? Anyone?
Because he put it in a way where it can't change.
Because they fixed it,
yes,
as the 7th day on the Roman system, which is a Saturday. Okay. And we have already shown how today with the rabbis and stuff saying if the system of the world changes the now occurring Saturday from Saturday to Sunday, that so now Sunday becomes Saturday, just keep it. Wherever it moves, you're just focusing on the word Saturday. Wherever Saturday is, and however they move it around, that's going to be the holy day of the Most High. In other words, Saturday means 7th day. You can't find it in the Bible. The Most High never gave us the name. He just says on the 7th day you rest. It will be a day of rest, a Shabbat. It didn't say a Saturday. It didn't say a Sunday. It didn't say a Monday. He didn't fix a name to it. He just let us know you work 6 days and you rest. Okay. But again, everybody believes that we have to follow the Romans. So let them follow the Romans. Arthur Spear, the Comprehensive Hebrew Calendar, page 13 says, can you read for me?
Nowadays, the day, hour, and parts of each mulad are announced before the proclamation of the new moon in the Shabbat morning service preceding the week of the new moon. This custom keeps alive the memory of the time when the Sanhedrin sanctified the months on the basis of observation of the new crescent. It calls our attention to the fact that today we determine our new moons and holidays according to the decision of Hillel's Bet Din.
So Hillel's court was the one who changed everything, and now we are just kind of like having things in memorial. In the back of your mind, you know it wasn't so, but we're going to move forward with what we have. Let's move on. According to Rabbi Louis Finkelstein, a well-known scholar from the Jewish Theological Seminary of America, emphatically stated, quote, the present Jewish calendar was fixed in the 4th century. Y'all see that? In other words, before then, we were doing something totally different. Right? You see a space on Time magazine? Yeah. All right, let's move on. According to Philo, which was, I believe he was from the tribe of Levi that lived in Alexandria, Egypt. This is what he had to say. Read for me.
Again, the periodical changes of the moon takes place according to the number 7.
So the moon changes according to the numbers of 7, right? Read.
That star having the greatest sympathy with the things on earth, and the changes which the new moon works in the air.
Which the moon
works in the air. It perfects chiefly in accordance with its own configuration on each 7th day.
So it has a count of keeping 7. Okay.
Yes.
Read.
At all events, all mortal things, as I have said before, drawing their more divine nature from the heaven, are moved in a manner which tends to their preservation in accordance with this number 7. Accordingly, on the 7th day, Elohim caused to rest from all his works which he had made.
So you have someone giving a record that all things on this earth, all mortal things, is connected to the heavens. Divine nature from heaven. It's drawn from the things that are above.
Yes.
And so we have it built that we should be looking above us. So, you know, you look to the histories, and people still have a problem. It doesn't matter what is posted. I was thinking about buying some new books, but you think it's necessary?
No.
There are some books that cost a whole lot of money, Hebrews, about the calendar. A whole lot of money. It's really expensive. And usually, if you want to get the good stuff, you got to go into the vault.
If you look at it, you notice how the author was saying that everything lines up when it comes to the seventh day, or the seventh configuration. Even when you have the new moon day, and sometimes, you know, Hebrews say, oh, there's a non-day and all that stuff. Imagine it still lines up when it comes to that 7 configuration, as the author mentioned. So I just thought I would mention that, because it's so perfect. It's like it's nothing to look for. There's no paper system to look for. Sometimes I don't even regard the paper system. I just look up and I know when things are aligning.
We have two sides of our face, right?
Correct.
Are both sides the same?
No.
Okay.
No two sides of your body is the same.
Your right hand, left hand. I mean, is everything configured exactly?
No.
So the Most High makes these little subtle differences
Yes.
for His purpose and His reason, right?
Correct.
Okay. He didn't make bricks.
No.
He made stones.
Correct.
All right. So creation is not Lego blocks, Mishpaka. There's no Lego block of anything, okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, the thing is that what you're saying is so true, because some people are having a problem with the 13th month that we have. But the Most High said to observe the things. If you really look up the heavens, it doesn't matter whether you think it has the 13th month. It always lines up exactly. How does that happen? See, you're not doing calculations. You can't do calculations because you don't know about milliseconds and all those little seconds that goes into the movement of the luminaries. Most High knows that because He assigned angels to do these things. You can't do it. You're just supposed to look at it and study it by looking, observing it.
What would happen if Hebrews, with the devices that they have today, or just anyone in general, go back in time during the time of Joshua, when the sun and the moon stood still? What would they do when they look at their calendar and their clocks and everything else?
It's off.
And it's not lining up. They're going to say, what are they going to do? What are they going to say? Exactly. They're going to tell the Most High that He's wrong.
Yeah.
So the Most High, if He wants to pause the sun 30 minutes or an hour or 2 hours or whatever it is, I mean, we can't. We have to just watch and observe and just follow. Okay?
Correct.
That's all it is. All right, let's move on, family. When does a new moon begin?
The Hebrew month begins with the first visible light of the moon in the western sky.
In the western sky.
Depending on your location. Approximately 15 to 20 minutes after the sun has set.
Approximately 15 to 20 minutes after the sun has set. So you got to look towards the west. This diagram here shows you the eye looking towards the west. You can see the horizon. The sun is going down. As soon as the sun is set, you look 15 to 20 minutes after the sun is set, and read on.
Depending on the seasons or time of the year, then the following day will be the new moon worship day.
See? Then the following day will be the new moon, also known as a worship day. Okay? The following day.
Right. Not that night that you see it. It's the next day, because it announces that the day is beginning.
Hallelujah.
The first day is going to begin.
Is that difficult? Anyone finding that difficult? Okay. So again, 15 to 20 minutes after the sun has set. Speaking to the mic so everyone can hear you.
Now I'm saying sometimes it can be a little bit earlier too. It all depends on the timing of the year, what location you're in. You can see it a little earlier than that too. Okay, but it has to be after sunset. Cannot be before.
Please note that at this time the moon will only be visible for how long? 10 minutes. About so approximately. Don't go out there and says, okay, Rebbe said 10 minutes. Aha, I caught him. It's 8 minutes or it's 15 minutes. It's approximately 10 minutes, and then it disappears.
That's because it is setting. It sets in the west, but right before it sets, the sun is going to shine the light on there. That's why it disappears so fast.
Read.
If for some reason you were unable to see it due to cloudy skies, then on the following night, if the weather is favorable, it will appear in the western sky just before the sun sets.
So some people will make the argument that if it's cloudy, I can't see it. How do y'all know it's right? Let me tell you. the moon continues to do what it's supposed to do regardless of clouds.
Mm-hmm.
Just imagine, let me put it this way. Imagine that you are supposed to catch a train at the train station. And that's the only train that's traveling for the next, that train is not going to show up until the next month. So the train has to build speed, right? You miss that, the doors are closed, so now the train starts to move. You know, like those old Western movies, the train starts to move. So what do the people do? They start running
to catch up with it
alongside of it.
Yes.
Even if it's picking up speed, they keep running because eventually they'll be able to jump on. And once they're on it and they'll synchronize with it, they're going to continue to move with the timing of the train. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
So if you miss that first catching of this scene of the moon, you just continue to look.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna see the times, and eventually you'll get caught up. You'll catch up with it,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna be on the right time, family. Yes.
And how you get caught up with it, because you will see the location where it's located every day. If you look at it every day from the new moon, the next day you'll see it's a little higher, the next day a little higher, the next day a little higher. So you will always know, what it's doing if you just take a look at it. Just keep looking for it. It'll be there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It will be there. When does a new moon begin? Let's read.
Okay. Please note that at this time, the moon will be visible for approximately 20 minutes, then disappears.
Mm-hmm.
If it appears after the sun sets on that night, then the following day will be the new moon worship day.
Mm-hmm.
However, if it does not appear before sunset, then that day was indeed the new moon day.
All right. How clear is that? See, if it appears after the sun sets on that night, then the following day will be the new moon worship day. However, if it does appear before sunset, then that day was indeed the new moon day. It's you still have that you're still within the vicinity of knowing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All you have to do is look up. It's not difficult at all.
Mm-hmm.
First quarter moon after the sighting, read.
After the sighting of the new moon month, the moon will appear earlier and earlier each day for 6 days.
Mm-hmm.
It can be seen in the day if the weather is favorable in the early evening hours.
All right, so these is just a little pictograph here. Different phases of the moon, the cycling that it goes through. But it says the moon will appear earlier and earlier each day for 6 days.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Continue on.
On the 6th night, which is the 7th of the month,
Mm-hmm.
it will be in the middle of the sky when the sun has set. Then the following day will be the first Shabbat, which is the 8th of the month.
Mm-hmm.
It will continue moving towards the east for 6 more days, which will be the 14th of the month.
So we have this diagram here. So we can see how, let's say over here, the moon was sighted. What you see is at the end of the previous month, the conjunction phase begins. When the new moon is sighted, the next day is the first day of the month. So you have the first day of the month shown here. Then you got 6 days that the moon goes through this phase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right over here. Okay. All right. And then the next day after that, right here is a Shabbat. Then you go through the phase revolution of 6 more days. And then you have another Shabbat, and it continues until the moon goes through another changing. Okay. It's not difficult. It's just a matter of, because our people and most of society is so accustomed to papers, and now we're accustomed to electronics. We don't even memorize phone numbers anymore. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Half the time, I don't even remember my own phone number. What is it? You know, your mind goes blank. You don't remember your parents' phone number. You got to look it up. Now, what happens if you lose that little device? You're in trouble. And most people can't find their way home. They need a GPS. Things have changed. All right. So this is another diagram to help us to understand. You have the new moon day, which is the beginning of the month, which is the crown of that month. And then you have 6 working days all the way through, and then you end up with the Shabbat. Is that difficult? New moon day, then you have 6 working days, and then you rest on that day. All right. This is what the book of Ezekiel, chapter 46, was talking about. On the new moon day, the place will be open right here. It's open here. And, oh, come on. And it's open here. All right. You only have one new moon for that month, but then you have 4 Shabbats that occurs. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. That's all. Let's continue. Let's read.
The full moon. How can you tell when the moon is completely full?
It's a good question, right?
Mhm.
Because sometimes, and we'll show an example, sometimes we look at stuff and it looks like it's full,
Mhm.
but it's not quite full.
Mhm. The full moon will rise in the eastern sky on the 14th night, approximately 15 to 45 minutes after the sun has set, depending on the season or time of the year. The following day will be the second Shabbat,
Mm-hmm.
which is the 15th day of the month. This indicates the halfway mark of the month. It is worth noting that 2 important feasts, Passover spring or Sukkot fall, occurs during this time of the month on the 15th.
All right. Hallelujah. So this helps to give us a little bit more understanding about the moon being completely full. And we'll show you an example of that too, okay?
Mhm.
The full moon is always on the 14th night of the month. Any of you all have ever seen the movie The 10 Commandments with Charlton Heston? When the guy who's acting as Joshua, remember Moses was in that little house and Joshua was running around with his little bucket of blood and Joshua just banging the door and Moses opened the door and Joshua says, "Is it sinful or wrong for anyone to look on the plagues that's passing, the death?" And Joshua and Moses says, "Shut the door, let death pass." Right now, in the background, you can see a big full moon in the background. They made sure to put that in there so you would know that the 14th, the full moon occurs on the 14th. Just look at that movie again. I know it plays, probably playing right now. Who knows? Probably getting ready to play right now. Every year they remind us of this thing, right? Okay. So this is a diagram again showing that you have the previous month over here, and then you have, this is the first, the new moon will be sighted on the previous right here, the end. And then you see, then the next day is the first day of the month. You count 6 working days. You have the first quarter moon. You have the Shabbat, which is the next day. Then you count 6 more working days. The 14th shows the full moon. The next day is going to be a Shabbat. 6 more working days. 22nd Shabbat. 6 more days, and then you have the Shabbat. Okay. Let's read that note.
The world uses the dark moon as the new moon, and so they will be off in their calculations about a day or 2.
Mm-hmm.
Even though NASA has the technology to see the moon, they don't always put the correct information out there.
Now that's important because they have a telescope and they have satellites that's already positioned high enough to start to see the moon. But how did Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and the 12 patriarchs and all the house of Israel, how did they look at the moon? How did they see the times? They had good lenses,
The lens in the eyes.
satellite. How about a drone?
In the eyes.
Space station? Brothers and sisters, all feet were on the ground looking up. Okay, that's the way that we looked, we dealt with the sighting of the moon. So obviously, if you have a device that's in a different location, wherever it is, it's going to give you a different reading. But what happens if NASA shuts down? If you depend on NASA and it shuts down, what's going to happen with your calculation? It's going to be off, right? If the government says, you know what, Congress passed the law. Last year was the last calendar. We don't print papers anymore. Everything has to be electronic, or, if the grid shuts down, if you don't have a paper calendar, you don't have electronics, you don't have anything, family, you're going to be in big trouble. You're going to be in serious trouble. And for those who utilize the vernal equinox, you're going to have to be precise, knowing equal day and also equal night. If you had a little too much brewskis that day before, or if you're not feeling well, you're going to find yourself, family, having missing the time of equal day, equal night. Okay? Most I didn't say, Abraham, my servant, yes, master. Go out, measure thee equal days, equal nights. Can't find that. Enoch, yes, master. Observe, go out there and measure equal day and equal night. Teach the children that if they miss this time, they'll have to wait another season. Can't find that. The Most High knew that some of us will be unconscious one day. Some of us will be sick. Some of us will have different issues. Sometimes the weather would not be favorable. So he gave us something that we can look at and we can rehearse, and over a period of time, we will be able to get it right. Okay? All right. Let's read on.
The Most High did not put mankind outside of earth to observe the times. You are to observe the times from earth.
So the Most High did not put us to be astronauts, to be outside of the earth. He wants us to be on the earth. Mm-hmm. Okay? The mere fact that these people are trying to leave earth is breaking the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments.
The moon rules the night. So if the moon becomes full during the night watches, that night cannot be counted. You have to wait till the beginning of the following night to count it as a full moon.
In other words, sometimes the moon begins to be full at 11 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. You can't start at that time. You have to start the next day, okay? It has to be completely full. Read on.
When the sun sets the following evening, then it will be a full moon. It has to be full for a complete night, not part of the night. The world does not understand the order of Yah's luminaries, so you cannot depend on them for accuracy.
You can't depend on who?
The world, NASA's.
You cannot depend on the world for accuracy, because I've explained before, you take any scientist and ask those people, how accurate is an atomic clock? How accurate it is? They'll tell you. As a matter of fact, let me see if we can find that. All right, according to this website, it says that the atomic clock is a device that measures time using microwave signal emitted by atoms, right? Or the electrons in atoms when they change energy levels. Did you know atomic clocks only have an error of 1 second in a span of about 100 million years? Now, when you use the word about, you're guessing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you recognize it says have an error. So it's not a perfect clock. Now, one of the problems is that how old is nuclear technology? When did that come about?
Not very long ago. About
It came about in the 40s,
40s, yes.
or somewhere in the mid 40s,
Yeah.
early 40s, mid 40s, right? But it didn't become it wasn't really understood the way it is today until later on. So we don't have anyone who has lived long enough to see if there's any change to the so-called clock that the people have made. There's no one to verify that this thing is actually accurate. They build something and they calculate, well, this thing is not going to change in such amount of time. So there's no one who can verify for sure after 100 years that this thing is perfect. It hasn't changed in 100 years. So we're basing everything on assumptions. Okay. All right. Let's go back to our slides. Enough of this.
After the full moon, the moon will continue to rise later and later for 6 nights,
Mhm.
which is the 21st night of the month. Then the next day will be the third Shabbat, which is the 22nd day of the month. The moon can be seen during the early hours of the morning if the weather is favorable.
Mhm.
It will continue on its journey for 6 more nights, which will be the 28th of the month.
So the moon is starting to go through a slowing down and turning period. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So here's a basic chart showing you the changes of the moon, waxing, waning, the different quarters, and whatnot. Okay.
Mhm.
Let's move on. The last Shabbat will be the following day, which is the 29th of the month. On the night of the 29th, the moon will begin to go through its conjunction stage. As you can see down here, it's preparing itself right at the bottom to go through this stage. So you get the quarter moon, 6 working days, and now it's starting to prepare for that change.
Mhm.
All right. How can you tell if it's a 29 or 30-day month? All right.
The early morning twilight on the 29th, just as the sun is about to rise, you can look towards the east and see the last slither of light on the moon
Mm-hmm.
if the skies are clear.
In the early morning twilight of the 29th.
Yes,
Okay, so you look towards the where?
towards the east.
Towards the east.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, on the 29th, in the early morning, before the sunrise, the moon, the moon and the sun, they rise together. They're always together, but the light is going out of the moon. The light is fading away, which is going to the dark moon. So on the 29th, that's how you know if it's going to be if you see that on the 29th, you know there is an extra day. If you don't see it, then it's going to be just a 29th and a half day. Okay, because it's actually 29 and a half, not really 29 and a half. Okay.
And we're going to see that in the diagram. Let's look at the stars real quick. We'll come back to the moon shortly. Let's read Job 9 verses 6 to 9, which talks about the stars, because
Mhm.
the reason why we put this here, people believe that we focus only on the moon, which is incorrect.
Mhm.
The Bible says in the book of Genesis that the sun, moon, and stars,
And the stars.
these
correct.
things are set as our timepieces.
Mhm.
So having knowledge of the stars is very important.
Mhm.
Okay.
Correct.
So we include the stars, and of course the Bible speaks about that too. Job 9, let's read verses 6.
It says, which shaketh the earth out of her place, and the pillars thereof tremble, which commandeth the sun, and it riseth not, and sealeth up the stars, which alone spreadeth out the heavens, and treadeth upon the waves of the sea,
Mm-hmm.
which maketh Asteros, Orion, and Pleiades, and the chambers of the south.
All right. So this is a mentioning of the stars, Arcturus, Orion, Pleiades, and the chambers of the south. These are some stars that is mentioned right here. And you can see it on the slide, on this picture. You see Pleiades, Orion, and, Arcturus is right there somewhere. Let's read Job 38, 31 to 33.
Job 38.
It mentions it again, and in Amos 5 and verses 8. So the stars are also important.
Mm-hmm.
Again, for those who have not looked at the previous videos, we have a lot of videos that go into this stuff in detail. We're just kind of breezing through this real quick to refresh certain things, so we will understand that we have to wait for the new moon. We have to look for certain things to know when it's the new year, and then we can count from that point in time to know when Pesach or Passover occurs. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Sun, moon, and stars.
Okay, verse 31. Canst thou bind the sweet influences of Pleiades, or loose the bands of Orion? Canst thou bring forth Mazzaroth in his season, or canst thou guide Ashtoreth with his sons? Knowest thou the ordinances of heaven? Canst thou set the dominion thereof in the earth?
Okay. So again, the names of these stars are mentioned in Job. Let's see Amos 5 and verses 8.
Seek him that maketh the 7 stars and Orion, and turneth the shadow of death into morning, and maketh the day dark with night, that calleth for the waters of the sea, and poureth them out upon the face of the earth. Yahweh is his name.
If you notice carefully, there's always this combination with Pleiades and Orion. It's always together. Pleiades and Orion.
Yes.
Always together. Pleiades, Orion. Pleiades, Orion. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Arcturus, if you look it up, it's a constellation. It's a great bear.
Mm-hmm.
It says, again, it's a constellation. It's a group of stars. All right. So this is a picture to give us an idea of what that looks like. The bear comes out of hibernation.
Correct. That's because that's what happened in the springtime.
In the springtime, right?
Yes, they come out of hibernation.
Okay. Orion also mentions in the Bible. It's known as the hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And it says the arrogant one. Well, sounds like Esau, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can see how it's shaped in such a way it forms into this guy holding a bow, right, about to strike. The hunter.
And it's very easily seen in the night. Whenever you look up and you see that 3 stars straight in a row, and it's very easy to see when the sky is clear. You go at night, you see those 3 stars in a row. That's Orion's belt.
The belt, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, the belt.
And if you look straight up, Pleiades is right in that same direction, straight up. So it's not something that is difficult for you to see when the sky is clear. The sky is easy to read once you know where the location. You study it over time, it'll be easy to see it.
And you can locate Orion by looking toward the northwestern sky.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you said, 3 bright stars close together.
Yes.
Almost in a straight line. That's the belt right here.
It's actually a straight line when you look at it.
These 3 stars represent the belt, Orion's belt. The 2 bright stars on the north are his shoulder, and the 2 on the south are his feet, right here, shoulder, feet. Orion rises in the east and sets in the west. Orion's belt, the only 3 bright stars that form a short straight line in the whole night sky, rise very close to due east and very close to due west. Okay? It's something that takes a little time for us to gain, but if you start looking at these things now, you'll get a better understanding, okay? And you can teach your children stuff. And it's a fun thing. Pleiades, or Kima, 7 stars, also known as the 7 sisters. It's known as golden ornament, maybe armlets of gold. All right. So these are the 7 so-called sisters.
Yeah. There is more stars around them, but the 7 ones are the brightest ones in there. Mm-hmm. That's why they call them the 7 sisters, because they're the brightest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And so forth. Pleiades. Mm-hmm. Why would the Most High mention these stars if they were just put there for beauty? Okay, again, Genesis 1 and 14, the Most High made it clear that these are set up for his appointed times, his calendar. All right. And also in the book of Jeremiah, let's go there real quick. So the ordinance of the Most High, his luminaries are so important that if an Israelite disregard them, the Bible says we are also disregarding our own heritage, because the Most High made a ball and chain scenario with Israel and the luminaries. We are connected to the luminaries.
Yes.
Remember what the Most High said to Abraham? Look at the stars. That's how your seed is going to be.
Yes.
So we always have to look up. Abraham didn't say, well, where's the calendar? Where's the stuff? Draw me a picture of this. No, look up and look and see. This is it. Okay.
Yes.
Let's read.
Thus saith Yahuwah, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar.
That's the tides and stuff. Read.
Yahuwah of hosts is his name. If those ordinances depart from before me, saith Yah, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever.
So if you brush aside the luminaries, the stars, everything, you might as well just forget about Israel. Okay. Verses 37.
Thus saith Yahuwah, if heaven above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, saith Yahuwah.
All right, family. Okay, so we can see the Most High is serious about his own business and keeping track of our people. All right, Psalm 65, verses 9 to 12.
Psalm 65, 9 to 12.
So now we're going to look at the crowning of the year. So the knowledge of when the new year begins, it's a combination of three things: the sun, the moon, and also the stars. That combination, right? Genesis chapter 1 and 14, on the fourth day, it mentions about the sun, moon, and stars. It's a combination, right? So let's see.
Verse 9. Thou visitest the earth and waterest it, and thou greatly enricheth it with the river of Yahuwah, which is full of water. Thou preparest them corn when thou hast so provided for it. Thou waterest the ridges thereof abundantly, and thou settlest the furrows thereof. Thou makest it soft with showers, and bless the springing thereof. Thou crownest the year with thy goodness, and thy path drop fatness. They drop upon the pastures of the wilderness, and the little hills rejoice on every side.
All right. This sounds like spring coming forth, right? Okay, so let's get a little bit more understanding. How does Yahuwah crown the year?
Yahuwah's new year starts with the spring, when all things begin to bloom again. The trees put forth their buds that look like a crown or a garland. So during that time, Pleiades, known to the pagans as the sister stars, but to Yah, the seven stars of Pleiades, will be seen in the western sky, and the new moon will be sitting right beneath it as a bowl.
So you have, it's almost like a crown where, if I can use this tambourine as an example, you have the bowl, and then on top you have the light, the shiny stuff, like a crown, okay? So he's showing us this is the beginning of the year. This is the first, this is the champion time of the year, okay?
Yes. And so you have all the little buds of coming on the tree branches.
Now, this is an example, which is not a perfect one because you got different dates on here, but you can see Pleiades, you can see the bowl right here, and you see Pleiades. All right, family. Over here on the side, you can, let me get my little tool. You can see the bowl right here again. And then right above it, you can see Pleiades. Oops. Okay. So again, it lines up. It happens during that time of the year. And you know that is the next day, because it's the new moon that you're looking for. It's not just any moon. It has to be the new moon along with the stars, the sun, everything lines up, because the sun lines up itself with the moon, giving you that look of a new moon.
Yes, and it will set directly to the west.
Hmm.
It's not going to be on the side. It's not going to be, you know what I mean? Just directly west. And the moon will rise, the full moon will rise directly east,
Hmm.
you know, before the year comes in. So,
And once you see this, we see it every year. We see it.
yeah.
We look for it. We note it.
Yeah.
And I think we will remind everyone so y'all can go out and check it out too.
Yeah. It doesn't change.
So y'all
It's
can actually
always
see
like that.
the stars, and you can actually see. And sometimes you can, I mean, if you want to use an app to kind of like help you to see the lining up of everything, you can do that too. But I don't want us to depend on these apps. We have to learn how to
Look with your eyes.
look with our eyes. Okay, read for me.
The Pleiades star cluster, also known as the Seven Sisters or M45, is visible from virtually every place that humanity inhabits Earth.
Now, why is that? Why is the stars visible from every place that humans live? Why is that?
Because it doesn't matter where you live, you can look up in the sky and see it.
Because the Most High wants us to see it.
Yes.
He wants us to see it. Okay, read on.
It can be seen from as far north as the North Pole and further south than the southernmost tip of South America. It looks like a tiny, misty dipper of stars.
Mm-hmm.
One of the nearest star cluster to our Earth, Pleiades, is a prominent sight in the northern hemisphere in winter and in the southern hemisphere in summer.
All right, let's move on. So again, this is a picture of the Pleiades. You can see, you can see it right here. This is a tree. So the reason why we have this picture here is to show you that it can be seen. You see the trees, and you can see it's here. Okay. Now, the time that we want to note, or we want to put some emphasis on, is the new year. Now, how you know it's the new year, the new moon, and these stars. Of course, the sun is going to be right there with the new moon anyway. So the sun, moon, and stars all are together. All right. So it's not one by itself and the other over here. No, it's all together. One big family.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's move on. Read.
It passes through the sky from November through April, shining from dusk until dawn, and announces the opening of the navigation season. You can locate Pleiades by using the 3 stars in Orion's belt. Draw a line through from left to right, and you come to a V-shaped pattern of stars with a bright star in its midst. The V-shaped pattern in the face of Taurus
Is the face.
the bull, is the face of Taurus in the bull. The bright star in the V, called Aldebaran, depicts the bull's eye. A bit past Aldebaran, you'll see the Pleiades cluster, which marks the bull's shoulder.
Once you see the belt, family, you just continue going straight up, and then you'll see Pleiades right above. All right. Everybody can see it. Everybody can see it in the chat room. Everybody's good so far. All right, great. So that, it takes a little while for our people to get it. Here goes Orion's belt again, and there goes the Taurus bull, and there goes Orion's belt. So straight through all the way right here to Pleiades. You see? So the 3 stars here, straight through. See the eyes of the bull right here? This is like a V, right through the eyes. Boom, hit him through the eyes, and you get the back of the neck where Pleiades is. All right? Sacrifice, you kill a sacrifice. All right, brother. All right, let's read. Let us read.
Do you think it is a mere coincidence that it just happened to be a 7-star cluster? Nope. It is divinely designed by Yah to tell time.
Mm-hmm.
These two luminaries must be together in the same location at the same time in the night sky to mark the beginning of Yah's new year.
How many of y'all have ever heard this stuff before? Have you all heard of any other groups teaching this type of understanding with the calendar and stuff like that? Okay. So it's important to understand you can't have, like they call people lunatics because you look at the moon. No, we don't look at the moon alone. The moon is part of the timepiece.
Yes.
We need the sun, we need the moon, and we also need the stars.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yes.
We need all of them.
Yes, because again, the moon has to line up with the star and the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Because the sun gives you the direction to look, where to look. So you follow the sun where it sets, and you look in that direction where it sets. There is Pleiades, there is the moon in the beginning of the year. They all have to be together in the same place.
All right, let's continue reading.
Pleiades is located in the house of Taurus and can be seen brighter during the spring season. As we have established previously, you must look for the signs.
That's important.
It's the only way to accurately tell our days, months, and years to meet Yah at his appointed times.
Hallelujah. Again, this is another picture. You can see the sun has set. And now you can look up, you can see Orion's belt. This is the 3 right here.
Mm-hmm.
And he's shooting straight up, and Pleiades way over here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this is the bull.
The bulls
would be about somewhere around here. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So this is a diagram which I'm sure many of y'all are familiar with the different symbols, and you have the different animals that's associated with it, like Aries, Taurus, and such like, which is somewhat connected to the houses of the sun. Okay. So the moon or the sun, it goes through different portals or different places. Okay.
Portals is the correct wording.
Mm-hmm. It goes through different, and it transitions from one to the other. And Aries,
Mm-hmm.
which is the ram,
Mm-hmm.
is that time when the new year begins. Okay. Time of the ram. All right. So right here is an app that shows, and I have here, this is March, which we are in right now, 2019. It shows that the moon is kind of like between the 19th. You see the full moon right over here? You all see this picture? The full moon is between the 19th and the 20th. Now, how is that possible? Okay. What's today's date? 22nd. Okay. So it's the 22nd. It's right between the 19th and the 20th. But however, the full moon is actually on the 21st. Okay. Which means that today will be the Shabbat. And I'm going to show you all some interesting things here. The time that I took this picture here, it was called a waning gibbous. It didn't say a full moon. And I'll show you what's going on. All right. So on this slide here, the date is the 20th. And they're saying they call it a full moon. So the 20th was called a full moon. So this is why it confuses people. This is, well, if it says it's the full moon on the 20th, how can the 21st also be the full moon, declaring the 22nd to be the Shabbat? It confuses people. So I'm showing you, it says 100%. And notice it says Virgo over here, right? Okay. Now, let's go to the next slide. Notice it says 100% again. This is the 21st. Okay. And now it says Libra. And now it says waning gibbous. Now, the reason why it looks 100%, how can you have 100% on 2 nights? The reason is because the time that the moon became full on the 20th, it started late. It started late, so you cannot count it when it starts late. That's what I want us to learn, so you wouldn't be confused. All right? If it starts 9 o'clock, it starts 8 o'clock, that's way, the sun already done. The full moon has to come out as soon as the what?
When the sun sets in the west, it will rise in the east, but it has to be completely full when it rises. It cannot start being full in the middle of the night. It doesn't work. You have to have a full night of a full moon.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you can't count it, because the moon rules the night.
So let's continue on. This is the Farmer's Almanac. You can see it says Farmer's Almanac right over here. They show you that on the 20th, the moon was full, but what time does it say? 9:43. Let me make it bigger so you all can see it. You notice it says 9:43?
Mm-hmm.
9:43. All right. That means that we cannot utilize this at 9:43.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, Hebrews already heading to their beds and stuff. Okay. All right. So that's all I want to bring from this, just to show you the differences. Because the moon is not Legos. Boom, square. Like this. It changes. It goes through these subtle changes. But people want to force time into little boxes. But again, even the atomic clock is not 100% anything. Okay, here's another view. This is, what date is this here?
The 21st.
March 20th. Okay.
Okay, 20th.
So it says 100% here. But notice it's showing you the moon is full going through two different stages, okay? So again, the Farmer's Almanac is showing you that at 9 something, it's becoming full, now appears. But the time that we need to look at it is the next day, all right? Which means that this would be the Shabbat, which is today, all right? Now we're looking at April of 2019. This is a projection. Again, all Hebrews must understand projections are not accurate. You have to physically see something to verify it. Okay? But we are showing this to bring us as close as possible to what it will be. This is April, you can see the 19th, 20th, and 21st. Okay. So it's showing you that the full moon is going to appear between the 18th and the 19th. Again, so the full moon is going to be supposed to be on that 19th, which is the Passover. Okay. And then the Feast of Unleavened Bread will occur on the 20th, which is the Shabbat. All right. So y'all can see right here, you got the full moon over here. Let me make it just a little bit bigger for the family to see it. Okay. Can everyone see it? See, the moon is like in between the 18th and the 19th, but the 19th is the Passover itself. This is when the moon is actually 100% full. All right. Feast of Unleavened Bread will be the next day. Okay, family. All right. So let's move on. Okay. All right. On April 5th, this is the projected time of the new moon to be sighted, which means the 6th will be the first day, right here. I got it marked in numbers. The 7th will be the second day, third day, fourth day, and so forth, which means that because the Bible says in Exodus 12, verses 1 to verses 6, that this month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year unto you. So again, on the 5th of April, we should be able to see the moon sitting as a bowl like this. Okay, that's projected, sitting as a bowl, and Pleiades right above. So everything is going to be lined up. And the next day will be the first day of the Hebrew New Year. All right, we count 6 working days after that first day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The Bible says that on the 10th day of the month, right over here in this little square, we are supposed to take the lamb. In ancient times, we'll take the lamb, okay? You hold it for until the 14th day and you kill it in the evening, okay? So that will be right here during this time. All right, and the next day will be a Shabbat right over here, Feast of Unleavened Bread. So you have the 6th being the first day of the year, of the month, and also of the year. And then you have on the 7th, you have day number 2. On the 8th, you have day number 3. On the 9th, you have day number 4. The 10th, you have day number 5. On the 11th, you have day number 6. On the 12th, you have day number 7. And on the 13th, you have that first Shabbat that's occurring, okay? And then you have on the 14th, day number 9, the 15th is the time when, right over here, is when you have that lamb being taken. You continue for those days, the 16th, 17th, 18th, and then we will be keeping Pesach on the 19th of this pagan calendar, which is actually the 14th of Abib, all right? And also notice, family, right over here, the time that the new moon will appear in the night sky on the 5th is also the house of the ram. See, it says Aries over here. Okay, that's the last of that sighting of the ram. The ram is marked during that time, and it continues on, all right, to this appointed time. So this is just giving you from the app perspective, the new moon in the house of the ram, so we can have some examples to match up. Yes.
One thing to always remember, that the moon announces that the sun is going to come into this house soon. So she goes in the month in Aries and lets you know the month is begin.
So again, just to recap, April on the 5th, we're expecting to see the new moon appearing, which is in the house of the ram.
Mm-hmm.
The next day will be the first day of the new year and the first day of the new month. And then we continue to count those days all the way through until we come to Passover, Pesach. All right. So this is important to be able to chart the skies and to know these things. Let's move on. Okay, so again, it's shown here that the full moon is on the 19th, right over here. It says April 19th, full moon, 100%. You see that? 100%. Notice it shows Scorpio. But before it was in Aries on the 5th, it was in Aries. After that, it switches over into Scorpio. All right. Full 100% on the 19th. That is a full moon. Look up, you'll see it. You know the next day is going to be Shabbat. So that will be Passover when the sun has set. Okay. This is another reference from seasky.org showing that April 5th is a new moon. The moon will locate on the same side of the earth as the sun and will not be visible in the night sky. You're going to have that little sliver of light, of course. The best time of the month to observe faint objects such as galaxies and star clusters. Remember the star clusters, Pleiades? You'll be able to see it on April the 5th. That's the new moon. So they are already acknowledged that's when the new moon is going to occur. Skip on down, April 19th, it says it's going to be a full moon. All right, so I just wanted to show you different sources that is basically saying the same thing. All right, so before we had put these little things together, we did a calculation, just kind of like get an estimate, a guesstimate for the Mishpachah who has to travel. And of course, when you live under a Gentile system, you need to have something in writing to secure your time off. Otherwise, you're going to have problems, right? So it's important for us to at least calculate ahead of time, give that information to our people, and they can have the time off, and we can celebrate Pesach accordingly. All right, so that covers pretty much the luminaries. Now, I want to go just really quickly through the Battle of Jericho because, again, many people argue with us about the calendar and this moon thing and the stars thing and whatnot. But I don't hear them really talk about this Battle of Jericho. How, if you use the so-called equinox calendar, or use a Gregorian calendar, or use the full moon calendar, or whatever calendar that they use, how were those priests, those warriors, able to travel around Jericho the amount of times that they did without breaking the Shabbat? Because you're talking about men carrying this Ark of the Covenant, which is not a lightweight balloon. It's a heavy object that needs a few men to carry it on staves. And Jericho is not a house, like you're just marching around a little house. It's a city that contains numerous houses, right? So let's imagine you have Levites marching around Bridgetown. That is quite a journey. That is work. So are we saying that the Most High is going to tell his men, who's supposed to be the example, his set-apart men, to break his Shabbat and carry around this heavy thing all around? No, family. Okay. And then on top of that, you
Yes, but he
plunder.
doesn't break his own word.
Because let's say, no matter how you look at it, one of those days of the week, you're going to be doing something that's going to break the Sabbath. Okay. So when you put this question out there for Hebrew Israelites, I don't know. I haven't seen an answer for that. I've yet to see an answer, but it's a difficult wall to jump over. Now, it's possible for them to not break the Shabbat if you utilize the calendar that we talked about, which is the new moon worship day falls as day number 1. You start marching on the new moon day as
Correct.
day number 1,
Yes.
and you continue to march for
Those 7 days.
for the rest of these days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. So you have a total of 7 days. On this 7th day, you march 7 times.
Yes.
So you start your march on the first day. We'll read that in the book too.
Mm-hmm.
And then you continue for 6 days. And on the 7th day, you march 7 times.
That's tiresome.
And this
Yeah,
occurred
we'll
in
do
the
that.
2nd month of the year. Okay. So again, if they were using the calendar that we call Saturday today, they'll be breaking that. There's no way around it. Okay. So you can plunder the city, take the wealth, kill people, do all kinds of stuff.
On the
And
Shabbat.
then that's on the 7th day,
Yep.
7 times around the city.
Yeah.
And then you rest on the Shabbat day. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the only way it can be done, family. I hope y'all can see this. I find Hebrews will go out on a limb to prove this thing to be wrong rather than just accepting it. And the reason, again, is all about the monies. It's all about the monies. It's all about, because the way the Shabbats go according to the luminaries, it disrupts commerce, disrupts their money. Of course, there's always going to be a clash of civilizations. You have the Most High's system clashing against the world system.
Mhm.
Joshua 6, let's read verses 1 to verses 4, and then we'll continue on.
Now Jericho was straitly shut up because of the children of Israel. None went out and none came in. And Yahuwah said unto Joshua, See, I have given into thine hand Jericho, and the king thereof, and the mighty men of valor. And you shall compass the city, all ye men of war, and go round about the city once. Thus shalt thou do 6 days. And the 7th priest shall bear before the ark 7 trumpets of ram's horns.
So those priests have to carry this heavy thing and blow in the shofar at the same time. Go ahead.
And the 7th day you shall compass the city 7 times, and the priest shall blow with the trumpets. And it shall come to pass that when they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and when you hear the sound of the trumpet, all the people shall shout with a great shout, and the wall of the city shall fall down flat, And the people shall ascend up every man straight before him. And Joshua the son of Nun called the priests and said unto them, Take up the ark of the covenant, and let 7 priests bear 7 trumpets of ram's horn before the ark of Yah. And he said unto the people, Pass on and compass the city, and let him that is armed pass on before the ark of Yahuwah.
So you have military action that's going to take place here.
Mhm.
These men have to carry this heavy object. I don't know if anyone can guesstimate how heavy this ark would be, but I don't think it's 5 pounds of flour or something. So it's not light, it's heavy. These men have to be the biggest of the Levites. You're a big dude, come here. Boom. Put you to serve to carry this thing. All right. All right, let's continue on. Verses 14.
Verse 14.
Yeah.
And the second day they compassed the city once and returned into the camp.
Mm-hmm.
So they did 6 days. They came to pass on the 7th day that they rose early about the dawning of the day, and compassed the city after the same manner 7 times.
Mm.
Only on that day they compassed the city 7 times.
Read.
And it came to pass.
Skip on to verses 19.
Verse 19.
Uh-huh.
But all the silver and gold and vessels of brass and iron are consecrated unto Yahuwah. They shall come into the treasury of Yah.
So when you read on from 15 to 19, you'll see that these men, after they destroyed the city, the Most High destroyed the city, they went in and they took all the silver. That's not light stuff either. Imagine a Hebrew with a bag of silver, or chest of silver, a chest of gold, vessels of brass and iron. You need carts. You need to bring your oxen with carts to take all the stuff out. You're putting the animals to work, the asses,
Mhm.
the oxen, people taking stuff. And like I said, it's the city is a big city.
Mhm.
So you got to run into from house to house and everything else and take stuff out, put all that stuff together and take it out. That's work.
Mhm.
That's the work. So after you are tired running around the city 7 times,
Mhm.
then you have to turn around, fight this
Yeah,
thing,
early.
and take all the stuff out of it. That is work upon work upon work upon work.
Mhm.
There's no way around it. If this fell on a Saturday, it's over with. Then you can say, well, Mosai, we fought this thing last Saturday. This Saturday, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm tired. I didn't rest last Saturday. You didn't have me rest last Saturday. I got some work to do. I'm going to go take care of my work. You can't kill me because you broke your own commandments. Yes, y'all.
But you notice the time of the starting of the day? In verse 15, it says the dawning of the day.
Mm-hmm.
That means the sun is about to rise. So it tells you what time the day starts.
Not the dawn of the night?
No, the dawning of the day.
The dawning of the day. I think
Yes.
Brother Felix already nailed that on the head. Go ahead.
That's why they had enough time in the day to be able to go around 7 times,
Times.
burn down the stuff, take out what they need and everything, and
Exactly.
be able to get it done before Shabbat.
Repeat that again slowly.
Yes.
The
correct.
dawning of the day that started really early.
That's
That's
right.
why they had enough time to walk around 7 times and do everything that they had to do in that city before
Yes.
it got dark.
So if the Shabbat starts at night when the sun sets
On Friday night.
on Friday night, I guess they only kept half a Shabbat. Okay.
But remember again that the commandments was given from the time they came out of Egypt
Mm-hmm.
during the time of Moses. Now this is after Moses died and gone,
Right.
and they are over. Don't forget the 4th commandment. So remember Shabbat there to keep it holy.
So Joshua
days.
just changed everything after Moses died. He looked around and says,
Don't
Moses,
remember.
Moses,
Moses is gone.
are you gone for real? Moses. Moses is gone. And Joshua said, guys, new administration, new cabinet, okay? New president. Whatever Moses says, we're going to change that. All right, from now on, we're gonna do things in Shabbat. Brothers and sisters, you can't find it. Can you read from verses 20 to 21
Yes.
and then skip down to 24?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
All right.
So the people shouted when the priests blew the trumpets.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass when the people heard the sound of the trumpet And the people shouted with a great shout that the wall fell down flat, so that the people went up into the city, every man straight before him, and they took the city.
They took the city. That's warfare, family. Read.
And they utterly destroyed all that was in the city, both man and woman, young and old, and oxen and sheep and ass with the edge of the sword.
So the priests will be defiled.
Correct.
So you have these men in a state of war with the most holy thing that Israel had at that time, which is the Ark of the Covenant, going out to do battle. Everybody's going to be defiled. How in the world can you keep the Shabbat being defiled? How? Explain that to me. Let's read verses 24.
And they burnt the city with fire.
Oh, no kindling.
No killing fire on the
A
Shabbat.
fire on the Shabbat. You have to get wood to burn a place down. If you read the laws, the Torah speaks about the laws of besieging. You cut the trees that do not bear any fruit.
Correct.
And you use those trees as battlement, as firewood and whatnot.
Correct.
So you have a lot of Hebrews cutting.
Cutting, yes.
Timber on the Shabbat day. Elder?
Maybe the house is made of straw.
Hey, you never know. It might be pig. The three little pigs' house. The burn with fire.
And they burned the city with fire and all that was therein. Only the silver and the gold and the vessels of brass and of iron they put into the treasury of the house of Yahuwah.
Well, again, family, you see, iron is also included. That's even more weight. All right. Let's get Joshua 88. I'm going to read verses 12. Here. So now this is going to give us the understanding of what time of the month and when these men began the march.
Correct.
So you would know that the book of Joshua, not the book of Jasper, the friendly ghost, the book of Joshua, family. Joshua. The book of Joshua, all right, is the time. It gives us the timing of the siege. Let's read.
Verse 12 of Joshua 88. And the manna ceased at the time on the morrow of the Passover. And there was no more manna for the children of Israel, and they ate of the produce of the land of Canaan. And Jericho was entirely closed against the children of Israel. No one came out or went in.
We already read that in the book of Joshua, right?
Correct.
Now, the verses 12 is, of course, the first month of the year. Now we're transitioning into the second month, verses 14.
And it was in the second month, on the first day of the month, that Yah said to Joshua, rise up.
Everybody get up.
Behold, I have given Jericho into thine hand with all the people thereof. And all your fighting men shall go round the city once each day. Thus shalt thou do for 6 days.
All right. So you see, they have to start at the first of the month.
Correct.
Let's read verses 15 to verses 18.
And the priest shall blow upon trumpets, and when you shall hear the sound of the trumpet, all the people shall give a great shouting, and the walls of the city shall fall down. All the people shall go up, every man against his opponent. And Joshua did so according to all that Yah had commanded him. And on the seventh day they went around the city 7 times, and the priests blew upon trumpets. And at the 7th round Joshua said to the people, shout, for Yahuwah has delivered the whole city into our hands.
So we can see the second, this is how they did it.
Yes.
If you start right here, let me go back again. I'll use this one instead. So if you start your march on the 1st, your march begins right here on the new moon worship day.
Right.
And you continue for 6 days marching. And on the 7th day, you march 7 times. Yes, you can march, you can cut wood, you can do whatever, you can sweat. Whatever has to be done at the beginning of that time, you can do all of that stuff. But then On this time right here is a Shabbat. This is when you can rest.
Correct.
There's no defiling of anything.
Yeah.
No gold to carry,
Yeah.
no iron, no wood to burn, no fatigue whatsoever. Yes.
Remember, Yah says that when you're unclean by a dead, right, until the evening. So the evening, they were clean, so they can keep Shabbat.
Are you sure about that?
I'm sure about that.
Oh, okay. And how did you come to know this thing?
Torah.
The
Torah.
Torah. The
The
Torah
Torah
teaches
says
us the rules of
correctly,
engagement, right?
the rules, that's right.
Leviticus chapter 17. Okay.
It says, and every soul that eateth that which die of itself, or that which was torn with beast, whether it be one of your own countrymen or a stranger, you shall both wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until the even. Then shall he be clean.
If you're defiled, basically, that's what it's saying.
Yes.
You bathe yourself, wash yourself with water, you'll be unclean until
The eve.
the evening, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then you shall be clean.
Yes.
Is everybody understanding this? So we have a clash again. We have to explain this. You got something else?
Yeah.
Where you want to go?
We just want to go back to chapter 6, verses 19.
Which one?
6:19.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Joshua 6 and 19.
Yes.
All right, bring it out. 6 and 19.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
We notice here that we have Babylon, but all the silver, gold, and vessel of brass and iron. And if you look at it, we have Babylon,
Gold,
the Medes, Persian,
Yeah.
silver,
We have
Greece,
the- yeah,
Greece is the brass,
Rome.
and Rome.
and Rome.
Yes.
All four.
All four is right in there.
Then we will
Yes.
take them into our treasury
That's
Yes.
right. They are
And-
servants.
serve-
These are
to
servants.
serve us.
But not only
Hallelujah.
that, but we have
Mhm.
there is where Achan and the whole family died because they took the things of Babylon and Greece.
Mhm.
No, Babylon, Media, Persia. The clothes and that thing that the water
Yeah.
assimilate themselves into it,
Yeah.
and it was not supposed to go in that direction.
All right, that's a great breakdown. All right, great
Great.
family. All right, let's continue. We're going to try to wrap it up.
Mhm.
So this is how they did it, family. You have to utilize the Most High's luminaries for us to do the things without breaking it. It will always be a clash against the Roman system. If you look at the common calendar that we have right now with Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, if they start their march on Sunday, that's no problem. All right, you do your march on on Monday, no problem. But if you go 7 times on a Saturday, if Saturday was a Sabbath, you'll be defiling that time. If you start to march on Monday, you'll still end up breaking Saturday as a Sabbath. So if you start on Tuesday, you're still going to defile Saturday if Saturday is supposed to be this Shabbat. No matter how you look at it, you're still going to end up breaking Saturday if it's the Shabbat.
Correct.
It's right on the screen. All right, do the math. I'm not that smart. Maybe y'all can prove me wrong. Let's see if anyone is smart enough to prove wrong. Okay. So you can see, family, it's right here. What you got on your mind?
I just wanted to remind the Mishpachah that the new moon day is not a Shabbat. That's why they're able to start.
Yes.
Okay, it's not a Shabbat.
This here is not a Shabbat.
Right.
You can do work on it. You just cannot do working for anybody else. You can
Yes.
work for the Most High, yeah. But not for somebody else, okay?
Yes.
And then you continue to work 6 working days
Please.
for anybody. All this is your time.
Yeah.
Okay? But this time is the Most High's time. Right over here is where they kept the time off. He allowed them to start their march on the 1st. Brother Felix, I'll take you in a second. Brother Jermaine, what is your question?
Shalom.
Shalom, brother.
I had this come up to me before. Someone said that when the children of Israel left Egypt on a Sabbath, they gathered all their jewelry and everything, and that was work.
No, they didn't gather anything on the Shabbat. They had to do it beforehand.
Okay. Yeah, I did see it at night. It said at night, but
Travel.
someone's like they was traveling and everything on the Shabbat, so they was breaking the Shabbat day.
No, no. Numbers 33. Let's start at verses 3.
It says, and they departed from Ramesses in the first month on the 15th day of the first month. On the morrow after the Passover, the children of Israel went out with an high hand in the sight of all the Egyptians.
Mm-hmm.
In the book of Exodus, it says that verse 12 and 41, and it came to pass at the end of the 430 years, even the selfsame day, it came to pass that all the host of Yah went out from the land of Egypt. It is a night to be much observed unto Yah for bringing them out from the land of Egypt. This is the night of Yahuwah to be observed of all the children of Israel in their generations.
So it's the night of the 15th. Is that correct?
Yes, and then the book of Joshua, chapter 81, Joshua 81 and verse 5. The sojourning of the children of Israel who dwelt in the land of Egypt in hard labor was 210 years. And at the end of the 210 years, Yahuwah brought forth the children of Israel from Egypt with a strong hand. And the children of Israel traveled from Egypt and from Goshen and from Ramses and encamped in Sukkoth on the 15th day of the first month.
Okay.
Okay.
Was there something you wanted to show with the night part?
No, what I wanted to say was this: when they left Egypt, they encamped in Sukkoth. They hadn't crossed over the Red Sea just yet. They just threw them out and they were in a camp.
Okay. All right. Was that your question, brother?
Yeah, that was my question. That was it.
All right. Let's you're welcome, brother. Let's get Brother Felix. Shalom, Brother Felix.
Shalom, Israel. Can you hear me?
Can hear you loud and clear.
All right. Very, very happy to be part of this, what should I say, class. Very enlightened. Before I go any further, I just wanted to welcome, I saw at least one new person among us, and that is Nisi. I don't know if there's any more, but we're living in a time where I don't know if the Hebrew mind is more tied up than anything, because when you try to introduce especially the teaching of the luminaries, that seem to be very, very hard to talk about. Most people will give you the head shake, which means you are probably in another world.
Mm-hmm.
When you talk about the luminaries, some people figure that you are worshiping the luminaries. And I don't know why the moon, because I mean, people worship the sun, they worship the stars. But anytime you try to introduce the teachings of the luminaries, you seem to have a lot of problems. One of the biggest problems is that they will give you no time. If they would only listen, because I mean, we have a lot written in the various books. We have it just as you showed in history, it's there. But when it comes to that, people would take the Saturday Sabbath way, way easier than trying to teach them the ways of the Father. I tell people that salvation is not as easy as we think. You have the Saturday Sabbath, it's already fixed. There's you have rights. If you don't get your Saturday or your Sunday, you can go to court. But if it's a Monday or Wednesday, the judge and all will probably laugh at you. So it's difficult for us, but in everything you do for the Father, there is sacrifice. You know, it's not just an easy thing that it's a walk in the park. It's not that way. It's always a fight. And as you read, even through the so-called New Testament, the Bible is warning you that it's going to divide your mom. It's going to divide you from your family. It's going to divide you from your job. So I think most people know that, because one of the first things they will tell you is that I'm not going to lose my job over any Sabbath. The next thing they tell me is that this is not for me. And you get these types of things, which sometimes is really disheartening. It kind of bring down your spirit somewhat, because it's tough. Because sometimes you seeing that if you only give me some time to show you what I'm saying, which is what they are seeing, if he does show me, I am not willing to change. So I don't want to see it, because I'm not willing to change. And it's difficult, but the Father calls as much of us who study and are looking. He says, knock and it shall be opened unto you. Seek and you shall find. But most people feel that what I have is already the goal. I don't need to seek for anything. I don't need to knock. I'm happy. Please get away and leave me alone. Anyway, I'm going to stop here instead of rambling on. One more thing I wanted to say to all of us. When we're looking at the apps and calendars and so on, remember that these people cannot see the future. What they're giving you is what they think will happen. I can tell you that because mine changes every day. Okay? As you get closer, it changes. Even sometimes after the day. Let's say I was looking at Monday the 5th, and you're looking at it on the 3rd. It would give you maybe 3% or whatever. But the next day, it doesn't say 3% again. It might say 4.2. So be careful with that. As you look at the apps, they are not accurate 100%. So be aware of that, man does not know exactly what percent the moon will be in 15 days. They'll give you some kind of idea or so on, but it will not be 100%. Okay?
I'm glad you mentioned that, brother, because again, the reasons why we are pointing these things out with the moon and the stars and locating the shape of the stars, the 3 stars, the 10 stars, 7 stars, or whatever number, is to cause our people to go out and see the thing for themselves. You can't rely on teachers to just hold your hand for you. If the teachers are not around, if there's no more internet, sometimes we have this mindset that something is going to be around for us all the time, that YouTube is going to be there, that they're not going to pull the videos, that we'll still have internet access. I mean, things can happen. What are you going to do in that time? In most cases, when the people lose direction, they go back to their old ways. Says, oh, well, it was a good run. It was nice to be there in the classes, but there's no more teachers like that. So we'll just go back to where we came from or whatever it is. You can't do that. You have to know this thing for yourself. You have to be a man and a woman and take the responsibility upon your own shoulders. Learn this thing for yourself, okay?
Yeah.
And not depend on these apps. So thank you so much, Brother Felix. Was that it?
That's it.
All right, Brother Felix.
All right. Shalom.
All right, shalom. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. Shalom, family. Shalom, everyone. I have a comment and a question. So the comment is off of Brother Felix, what he was talking about. A lot of our people today, they have a problem getting the Shabbats off because we don't speak the system's language. When you tell them that you want to take the day off for, for service or religious purposes in their words, they look at you crazy. But what I have found that works really, really well is I use their language. I tell them I have class, I have school to go to, and without any problems, they give it to me right away. Or I tell them I have therapy, spiritual therapy to go to, no questions asked. They give it to me right away.
Wait,
So
slow down, brother. So you're saying you tell them you have school to attend, and they don't have a problem with that?
Nope.
Okay. Or you tell them you have therapy to attend, and they don't have a problem with that?
No problems.
Why is that?
Because you see, I'm in class. I'm going to school. I'm learning. I'm always learning. I'm a student of the word. We all are students of the word. So I tell them I have to go to school. I have to go to class. They don't ask what school or what class. If you have to ask, you can tell them you're going to theology school, whatever you want to tell them. And it's not making up lies on you. You actually are going to school. So they never question me about any of that. Or If
So
you
wait,
want
wait
to
a
tell me you have
minute.
an appointment,
So they don't question you and says, well, how come your school changes?
I tell
Last
them.
month it was on
I
Thursday.
tell them every month my semester changes. So for this month my semester is on Fridays, for example. Next month my semester is going to be on Monday, whatever, and they have no questions whatsoever.
Wow.
So you have to think like they think. When you start bringing the Most High in it, because they are against us 100%. Don't care anything about the Most High or you. Yeshua said, they don't like me, they ain't gonna like you. So you have to think like they think. We live in their system right now. So that's the one comment I have. The question I have now is, why do our people or people in the world, they would go and use, like, okay, we know like the Passover is coming up. We know that the New Year is about to approach. And they will jump on it and say, yes, the New Year is in the springtime because we look at the moon. But right after that, they go back to the regular calendar to follow Saturday as the Sabbath. How do you use two calendars? That makes no sense to me.
Well, you just answered your own question. I mean, it's clear.
Yeah.
They're operating on dual systems.
So I always ask them that, because when people say, well, why do you follow? I says, why do you use two calendars? That doesn't make any sense. You either use one or the other. If you're going to use the Most High's calendar, which is the luminaries to track and to follow when the new month begins, why can't you go a little deeper and find out what the week is, what the day is?
Absolutely.
But they're lazy.
Well, I'm not going to say that. I'm glad you said it. All right. Thank you so much for your questions and your contribution. Galaxy S7.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Uh-huh. I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, I did come up with two questions since I've been listening. And it's about the luminaries. And I was just sitting here wondering, you know, the scripture lets the children of Israel know to use the luminaries to be able to tell their Sabbaths and feast days and what have you. I was wondering, what did the heathen nations use? And I mean, if they didn't use the luminaries, how were they determining their so-called holy days? And a second question is, in recent weeks, I came across different videos on YouTube talking about aliens being from places like Pleiades and Draco and some of the other places out in the universe and what have you. And I was just wondering if you have ever heard that, and what do you think? And I will listen as you reply. Thank you.
You're welcome, sis. First and foremost, first one, as far as the nations, the heathen nations were concerned in ancient times, almost everyone dealt with the luminaries.
Mm-hmm.
When the world began to conquer and to how should I say it, pull together all of these different countries under one roof, they had to have a system that will work to accommodate everyone. So the Greeks themselves did this. You have the Romans doing this and such like. And so today we're still under the Roman system of pulling everything together. But in ancient times, even the Romans themselves used to use the luminaries at one point.
Oh, okay.
But they worship them as gods and so forth.
They used to worship the host of heaven as their gods. For example, when Jeremiah talk about they go in the forest, they cut a tree and they deck it, and they put little symbols of the luminaries, like the wandering stars and stuff. The god of Molech, the star of Molech, their god, and so on. They put on the trees, and that's what they used to do. So when you talk about in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 8, when you talk about the children of Israel left the Most High and they went to worship the gods of or the Queen of Heaven and make cakes to her and everything, they were following the ways of the heathen. That's what got us in trouble.
Yeah, not only that alone, but after even when Yeshua had born, and the men came down and said, the wise men came and they said they saw the star Cause they used to
Chart the heavens and look at
yes,
stars and
and
stuff.
like that and so forth.
Yeah, mostly all ancient civilizations used to use the luminaries. It's just as part of a system of bringing everything under one house. They came up to devise this plan. And let me recommend going to some of the videos that we have on YouTube. We covered the international dateline. That's a good one to look at, where you can actually see how, or the Roman calendar. Look at those that Brother Felix gives some classes on. You can actually see how certain countries like Samoa, the American Samoa and the other Samoa, they had to make that compromise and change whatever calendar that they had before and come over into the Western timeline in order for them to do trade, commerce. Okay, so yes, most ancient civilizations, they use the luminaries. Now, as far as Dragos and the aliens and stuff, sis, I can't give you an answer on that because the only aliens that I know about from coming from space are fallen angels. If there's any out there flying around, that's about it. There's no such thing as green people walking around, or the planet Dragos is a set of people over there and all that stuff. That's Star Trek, Star Wars, and who else? Battlestar Galactica, who else? Lost in Space. That's science fiction. That is not according to the scriptures.
Yes.
All right. Most of the people who believe in this stuff do not believe in the Most High. Okay. These are just
the imagination,
trickery of the mind and stuff. Okay. But again, if these things be true, then how come we're not seeing these things? Because after all, these beings are supposed to be more intellectual, more powerful than us. What are they scared of?
I haven't seen any. Have you?
I haven't seen any. Okay. Brother Eliyahu, you want to talk about the aliens? Did you see some aliens in Bridgetown?
Yeah,
yes.
Shalom, brother. No aliens. I just wanted to read Deuteronomy 16:1 very quickly. It says, "Observe the month of Abib, and keep the Passover unto Yahweh the Elohim. For in the month of Abib, Yahweh the Elohim brought thee forth out of Egypt by night." This is another verse that makes it clear that we did the traveling at nighttime.
Is Deuteronomy what chapter again?
16:1.
16:1. Okay. Thank you for sharing that too.
Shalom.
Shalom. So family, we're going to have to stop here. So family, everybody has learned something, or we still have doubts and questions in our minds and trying to figure out, okay, I hear you, Brother Yona, but sorry, but is the butt in the way? Is the butt in the way? Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're going to stop here. Everybody got it? Sister Corinne says, I'm persuaded. Everybody's okay. Do I need to do a checklist to see who's persuaded against who's not persuaded? I'm just teasing you all, family. In this walk as a Hebrew, it takes time for us to really get and learn things, and I don't expect us to learn everything in one day, but do the research. We have done quite an extensive study on this thing and asked the questions. We're not going to have everything 100% in our understanding because, of course, we're dealing with what information has been provided to us. But please do not believe that the Most High did not think about Hebrews or people on this earth being unconscious and waking up and being disoriented and needed a way to verify things. Otherwise, men will have been playing tricks for the longest time. You can't play around with the Most High system. You can try, but you will always fail. So our King has given us a guarantee way, no matter where you are, whatever language you speak, no matter what's going on, he has given us one system that we all can look up to and know for sure the times and the seasons and so forth. So men can think to change times and laws, but our Elohim has made this thing forever.